I'm going to start recording. I hope everyone's Thanksgiving was incredible. I know the football was awesome, the food was awesome, so I thoroughly enjoyed everything. Um, one of the things I did want to touch on was, let me share. Let me know if you guys see. Great. Um, So the first one, I think there was a misconception. These tasks open up on Monday. I don't know exactly what time, but I do believe it's pretty early. So like you don't have to have finished the last task theoretically to start the next one. Um, and they are going to differ in difficulty. Some of the ones where you're doing some troubleshooting, like in the SSH one, they are a little tough. I mean, you guys are not quite used to technical troubleshooting and stuff like that, so they are going to be kind of a new experience, and they might be a little tough. But so don't think like if you get stuck on this, you can go ahead and move to the second one and finish it up because it's a lot easier, and then go back to it. There's no need to like beat your brain against the wall the whole time. So they do open up on Monday. Um, So that was the first thing. The second thing is, I think we got someone new, Jashawn. Have you, were you one of the ones that just started? You're on mute if you're talking. Maybe he stepped away. Um, anyway, okay. So this part of the internship, what we're doing is in every company that you're going to work at, accounts are going to have an expiration. If you work somewhere now, your password probably has an expiration on it now. Um, it's usually in the 90-day range is quite typical. It could be, I mean, I've heard of them excessive like a month, but I think most are in the 90-day range. Most of, at least most of the companies that I've been at have been. Um, so that is pretty standard operating procedure. And when you get out to, um, the fleets, there will be, and I think we've talked about it before, there will be procedures and policies on all this that, the password must expire in this amount of time, and it'll have what characters it has to have in it and length and all that kind of stuff. And they'll have a policy on that, and you'll know that they'll tell you that before you start creating users and things like that. Um so this part is we're simulating that there is a department in most companies called internal audit. What they do is they go around and test to make sure that you have these policies and security practices, and that you're doing the things that you say that you're doing. So if you say, hey, our passwords expire in 90 days, and that's the policy, and then they go through and they do an audit and they see that you don't, they'll ding you, and then you have to go fix it, is essentially how it works. So if you've already read through this, you can see that so the internal audit has done an audit, and they've seen that the users from our scenario do not expire. So the passwords do not expire. So you'll have to go in and check using a command to see what that looks like. And then you'll have to set that to expire every 90 days. Do you guys have any questions on the account expiration portion? The second portion is network time synchronization. Does anyone know that or use that on their computer at home? If you guys are shy, you can type it in the message. So everyone's seen that you have a clock on your computer. Um, this is usually set by you. You go in and set it to whatever time zone and whatever time you want. Sometimes they are like Apple or Microsoft might be set up to go directly to an Apple server or a Microsoft server for their time, and that's what NTP is. It's a time synchronization across your entire enterprise to make sure that everything is on the same time. And the reason why those things are done is a couple of different reasons. Um, so when you log in, if the time is off by up to even 5 minutes, it may cause you to not be able to log in. And that is a common thing. Like if one of your servers, the NTP drops out and it stops updating like it's supposed to, then it won't definitely, it depends on the operating system and the version and stuff like that. But it could not allow like LDAP users to log in or something like that. And it's due to the time not being synced up. So it believes that um, something, there could be a man in the middle attack, or that, it's trying to log into a server that's in the past. So it gets kind of wonky in that aspect. So they're almost always going to use an NTP server. You may have situations if it's a really small company that they perhaps might not, but I mean, I think it's so easy to set them up and use them. I don't think I've ever been even in a small shop where we didn't use NTP. So you'll go through. Obviously, you can see down here that we're using Crony. Now, I will say this: Crony, I believe, is already installed. So you won't have to install it. Does anyone remember how to install applications? No. So these are Debian based. So it's an app or apt-get and install, and you can install packages that way. But Crony is already installed. So what you'll do is you'll check the status and make sure that it's installed and that it's running and things like that. Um, and then you'll have to change I believe it's a Google target to these NTP servers. And what this is simulating, because the first thing you're going to say is, why isn't the standard why isn't that one the one? Um, and most companies will have a designated NTP server. It may be an internal server that gets its time from somewhere else, like the Navy or one of these or something like that. So it is possible, or Google or Amazon or something. So it is possible that you won't even go out to the internet. It could be a local server that goes and collects that information, and all of the servers inside all reach out to that one. So you're going to set it to these NTP servers and then check and verify that the time is correct and that it is in fact. You guys have any questions on the network time synchronization? No? If you guys just want to start on these in case you come up with some questions. Is it Yashan? Are you back? Sure
Hey
here.
Nick, I had a question.
Yep, fire it.
These I noticed when I started working on two
Hmm.
um these servers I seen them pop up already. So when I went into Crony and let me look at it again. I noticed that those servers was already in there. So when I ran it, it just ran. um
Okay, let me go take a look
so
real fast. Yeah, I can look real quick. Hold on a second.
I didn't know if that was by default or
No, but Chrome. Let's see. Source stats. Yeah, see, it's still Google.
oh,
Do you see that in your terminal?
let me see.
You should see the last command I ran, and you should see it right above there.
Okay. Oh. Oh,
You see what
okay.
I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
so Crony is set up to go out to Google automatically. That's just the default. And honestly, if that was at your house or something like that, that would be fine. But in an enterprise setting, they will have like a designated. This is where you will get your time from, and that's so.
Okay. I don't know what I did when I had started looking at it, but I'll
Sometimes it
have to
all
look
runs
at it.
together. sometimes
Okay.
like sometimes you're like looking at it and you're just like, I know that I've went in there and like, what is going on? And then you come back later and you're like, I don't know what I was looking at. Like you just
Yeah.
look at the screen too long or something and you like start to go cross-eyed. So
Yeah.
yeah, that happens definitely.
Okay.
Let me see if I can.
So so in Crony, when we run it, the one that says Crony sources dash V, so that
Mhm.
shouldn't say Google
Right.
internal. That should say that would give those servers instead of
Yes, you are
Google. Oh,
correct. Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions on the first week's assignment? I know Mahmoud and Jasmine have finished those, but I know last week was kind of crazy with the holiday and everything. So I can field questions from last week also if you'd like.
I had a question about
Yep.
the the secure shell part. I
Okay.
wasn't sure what the users are supposed to be secure shelling into. I don't know the server's name.
Okay, so you're gonna SSH into the server that you are on. And how you will do that is, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. You will you will get your IP address this way. It'll probably be everything the same. It'll just be a different in this octet in the last one. And that's how you will SSH. I don't think it's set up on here, but I did have it set up and it went away for whatever reason. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So it is possible to try to secure shell into the box that you're on. Yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little weird. Definitely.
Okay.
Also, don't rack your brain on it. This user, the RHAT user, once you've set the shell to no login, will not be able to log in. So you can set that to a shell like bash or something and then do a test login and stuff, and that's totally cool. But like if that's set as the shell for no login, it won't let you log in. So don't like forget that that's set like that and sit there and work on something that's never going to let you log in, you know.
Okay. When it came down to the SSH part as well, when they asked you to find, because I'm not at my actual computer at the moment, but
Okay.
when they asked you to find what could the issue be, the
Mhm.
RHAT one is obvious. You just actually just said it. But in terms of the Jane Doe, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be there for about an hour trying to figure that out, looking at all types of resources. But
Well, I can give you a hint. Let me hold on one second. I will, since you're not at your computer, I will IM you a hint. It's what I told the class. So give me just a minute and that way you can reference it. Did you get that?
not yet.
It would be in a Slack.
Oh, okay, Slack. Let me check that then.
Yes.
Wait, here's my Slack. Oh, there we go. Yes.
Perfect. You can also message me on there and I'll message you back. If you still have problems tomorrow, if you're still working on it, you can always message me. I'll answer you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, um, what's your time zone, sir? Because I'm to the east, and my work schedule been all over the place for the holiday peak season and stuff like that.
Mhm. So I'm on
So
the West Coast. I'm in Mountain Time actually. I'm in Arizona, but I usually start about 6 a.m. here, which is like if you're on the East Coast is 9. So,
mhm. Okay, okay, cool, good, good.
but I can always check it throughout the day too. So if you give me a time where you think you might be free, then I might be able to work something out with you.
Okay,
Yeah.
they gave me a morning shift tomorrow, so I should be free sometime after 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon for
Okay.
my time. So about 2 to 4 o'clock and 2 to 3 o'clock around your time.
Okay. That works.
Well, that was all for me, sir. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the hay because I actually do have to wake up early in the morning.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I do
I
appreciate it.
totally
Thank
understand.
you.
Yeah. Yep. Hit me up if you need anything.
Copy that.
All right. another note to remember too is remember that these checks that I use to kind of guide me in grading are also a check for you to make sure that it's been done right. Obviously, if there are any errors or anything in these, then something's probably not right. So like on mine, if I run this and it says no such user, well, it should probably come up with a user. So that's immediately saying, well, I forgot to do something. We have about 13 minutes left. Do we have any questions before the end of class? Got about 5 minutes left. Got about 2 minutes left. Any other questions before we close down? You guys can also reach out to me on Slack. So I will try to get to your questions as quickly as possible. So always remember that that's a resource, and your tech mentors are also on there. Any other questions before we close it down? And I will see you guys on Thursday. right. We are at time. Guys, remember to reach out if you need anything, the tech mentor or myself. Everyone have a good couple of days, and I will see you again on Thursday. Have a good one.
Thank you.